trust in business as in life is like a glass house, beautiful but fragile. One stone thrown in anger can shatter the whole thing. I learned this lesson the hard way, watching my former best friend try to steal $2 million with a smile on his face. I'm Rachel Chun, 36, founder of several successful tech startups and, until recently, the proud co-owner of Innovation Dynamics, a cutting-edge artificial intelligence company. Or at least, that's what the paperwork should have shown. According to Marcus Wright, my business partner of 3 years, I was nothing more than a glorified consultant who'd never invested a dime. Ms. Chun, the mediator, James Thompson, maintained his professional tone despite the tension filling the room. Mr. Wright has provided documentation showing that he is the sole owner of Innovation Dynamics. He claims your role was advisory only. Marcus lounged in his chair, expensive suit perfectly pressed, golden cufflinks catching the afternoon light. He'd always had a flair for presentation. It's why I'd trusted him to handle the public face of our company while I focused on the technical side. Rachel was invaluable in getting us started, he said smoothly, but she never made the investment she claims. $2 million is a lot of money to forget about, James. The mediator turned to me. Do you have documentation of the transfer? That's the interesting part, I replied, pulling out my phone. Marcus made sure the official transfer records disappeared during our recent system upgrade. But he forgot about something more basic. Marcus's smirk faltered slightly. You see, I continued, Marcus has always been thorough about cleaning up his tracks. But he never thought to check his own phone records. Specifically, this call from last summer. I pressed play. Marcus's voice filled the room. Rachel, you're a lifesaver. The $2 million just hit the account. With this investment, we can finally launch the neural network project. Partners for real now, just like we planned. The mediator's eyes widened as the recording continued, with Marcus discussing specific details of how my investment would be used, dates that matched the missing transfer records, and his plans for our company's expansion. That's clearly edited, Marcus sputtered, but his confident posture had crumbled. The call metadata is authenticated, I said quietly. But that's not all. Tell me, Marcus, did you really think I wouldn't have backups of everything? That I wouldn't notice when you started moving our assets around 6 months ago? The mediator leaned forward. What assets? I pulled out my laptop, turned it to face them. Innovation Dynamics wasn't just developing AI technology. We were creating something revolutionary. A neural network capable of genuine learning and adaptation. The kind of breakthrough that could transform industries. Allegedly, Marcus cut in. We never got it working properly. Actually, we did. I clicked through to a secured folder. 3 months ago, right before you started systematically erasing my involvement in the company. Right before you made that interesting trip to Silicon Valley to meet with TechCore's acquisition team. Marcus's face went pale. The mediator looked between us, understanding dawning in his eyes. TechCore offered to buy Innovation Dynamics, I explained, for $30 million. But only if they could have exclusive rights to the neural network technology. Technology that wouldn't exist without my investment and my code. You can't prove any of this, Marcus said, but his voice lacked conviction. Actually, I can. Because you forgot something else. I smiled grimly. Something about the nature of neural networks themselves. I turned to the mediator. Our AI system, which Marcus claims never worked, has been running continuously for the past year. Recording everything. Learning. Adapting. Including logging every change made to company records, every deleted file, every altered document. And as the system's primary architect, I'm the only one who knows how to access those logs. The mediator's professional mask cracked slightly. Are you saying your artificial intelligence system has been watching? Not exactly watching. More like remembering. Every keystroke, every file modification, every database change. It's all there, encrypted in the system's learning patterns. Including Marcus's systematic attempt to erase my ownership stake right before the TechCore acquisition. Marcus stood up so abruptly his chair toppled backward. This is ridiculous. You can't. Can't what? Access the system logs? Prove that you altered company records? Show exactly when and how you tried to cut me out of the company I helped build. I turned back to my laptop. Would you like to see the timestamps of when you modified our incorporation documents? Or maybe the logs showing you transferring our patents to your personal holding company. But there was more, much more. Something Marcus didn't know about the neural network, about why I'd been so insistent on backing up everything in its memory. Because this wasn't just about money or patents or corporate ownership. This was about preventing a crime that hadn't happened yet. Before we continue, I said to the mediator, I should mention that I'm not the only one Marcus tried to erase. And some of his other victims left behind more than just phone records. Marcus's face shifted from pale to ashen. He knew what I was talking about, or at least he thought he did. But the truth was far worse than even he imagined. The mediator checked his watch. Perhaps we should take a brief recess. No, I said firmly. Because in exactly 17 minutes, unless I stop it, our neural network is going to send a very interesting data package to the SEC, the FBI's Financial Crimes Division, and several very interested parties at TechCore. Would you like to know what's in that package, Marcus? His lawyer, who had been surprisingly quiet until now, finally spoke up. Ms. Chun, if you're making threats. Not threats, I corrected. Promises. The same kind of promises Marcus made to our other investors. The ones whose money disappeared right before they had mysterious accidents. The ones our AI system has been quietly tracking for the past year. Because that's what neural networks do best. They find patterns. And the pattern our system had found in Marcus's business dealings wasn't just about stealing my investment. It was about murder. The mediation room fell silent as I pulled up the neural network's interface. 15 minutes until the data package would release. Marcus's lawyer was frantically whispering in his ear, but his eyes never left my screen. 3 years ago, I began, before we even started Innovation Dynamics, Marcus was involved in another AI startup, Neural Solutions. They were close to a breakthrough in pattern recognition technology. Then their lead developer, Dr. Sarah Martinez, had a fatal car accident. The company's assets were sold off for pennies on the dollar. The mediator's expression remained neutral, but his pen had stopped moving across his notepad. A year later, it was Quantum Mind Technologies. Their CEO, James Chun, no relation, died in a home invasion gone wrong. Again, Marcus swooped in to buy the remains of the company at a fraction of its value. Tragic coincidences, Marcus's lawyer interjected, and completely irrelevant to this mediation. Actually, I continued, turning my laptop to show a complex web of data patterns. Our neural network doesn't believe in coincidences. It's designed to find connections that human investigators might miss. Like the fact that both victims had recently installed new smart home security systems. Systems that somehow failed the nights they died. Marcus's composure cracked slightly. You can't possibly. The AI found the pattern. I cut in. Every company you targeted had developed some piece of the puzzle we eventually used to create our neural network. Each time, the key developer or owner would die in an apparent accident. Each time, their revolutionary technology would be lost or corrupted, except for the pieces you managed to salvage. I clicked through to another screen, showing a complex diagram of technological developments and acquisitions. You weren't just stealing my investment, Marcus. You were building something piece by piece, murder by murder, taking the best parts of each company's research, using their deaths to cover your tracks. The mediator finally spoke. These are very serious allegations, Ms. Chin. They're not allegations. I pointed to my screen. They're patterns. Patterns our AI system has been analyzing for months. Patterns that show how Marcus used his knowledge of smart home technology, automated systems, and artificial intelligence to orchestrate seemingly perfect accidents. Marcus stood up again, slower this time. Rachel, think about what you're saying. Think about what's at stake here. Oh, I have. That's why I built a backdoor into our neural network. One that's been independently gathering and analyzing data about every accident in the tech sector over the past 5 years. Want to know what it found? I pulled up another window. The AI's interface pulsed with streams of data, connections forming and reforming in real time. Each victim had recently met with you. Each had developed technology that could detect or prevent the kind of system manipulations you were using to cause the accidents. And each had refused to sell their technology to your holding companies. This is absurd, his lawyer protested. You can't prove any of this. Actually, I can. Because the neural network didn't just analyze past events. It's been watching, learning, adapting, including monitoring Marcus's recent activities, like his attempts to access my home automation system last week. Marcus went very still. You didn't really think I'd build an AI this sophisticated without having it protect me, did you? Every attempted intrusion, every probing attack, every piece of malicious code, all logged, analyzed, and traced back to their source. I turned to the mediator. That data package that's about to go out? It includes evidence of Marcus's latest murder attempt. One that failed because the target's AI system was a bit smarter than he expected. The mediator's professional facade finally cracked. You're saying he tried to kill me? Yes, just like the others. But there's a difference between manipulating ordinary smart home systems and trying to hack an AI that's designed to recognize patterns of attack. Would you like to see the logs from last Tuesday night, Marcus? When you tried to override my home's carbon monoxide detectors. Marcus's lawyer was now openly staring at his client, who had begun to sweat despite the room's cool temperature. 8 minutes until the data package releases, I noted calmly. Unless I stop it, which I will on one condition. Name it, Marcus whispered. Confess. To everything. The murders, the technology theft, the attempted cover-ups. Sign a full confession now, and the evidence goes to the police instead of being blasted across every major tech news outlet and social media platform simultaneously. You're bluffing, he tried, but his voice shook. No AI system could. Want to bet your freedom on that? Because our neural network isn't just watching. It's already distributed copies of itself across secure servers worldwide. Even if something happens to me, even if you somehow manage to destroy every computer in this building, the truth still comes out. The mediator cleared his throat. Perhaps we should contact the authorities. Already done, I smiled. They're waiting outside. Have been since this meeting started. The only question is whether they arrest Marcus quietly, or after his crimes become the biggest tech scandal of the decade. Marcus slumped in his chair. You don't understand, he muttered. The technology these companies were developing, it could have changed everything. But they were small-minded, afraid of its potential. I saw the bigger picture. The bigger picture? I leaned forward. You murdered innocent people to steal their life's work. You tried to kill me to cover up your crimes. That's not vision, Marcus. That's just greed and psychopathy wrapped in a nice suit. 5 minutes left. I pulled up a document on my laptop. Here's your confession already drafted. The neural network predicted you'd choose this option. It's analyzed enough of your behavior patterns to know you care more about your reputation than anything else. His lawyer started to object, but Marcus waved him off. The AI, it's that sophisticated? It can predict human behavior that accurately. That's the irony, I replied. The technology you killed for? It was never about controlling systems or causing accidents. It was about understanding patterns, in data, in behavior, in truth itself. Each of your victims was working on a piece of that puzzle. I just put them all together. And used it to catch a killer, the mediator murmured. Marcus picked up the pen with a trembling hand. As he signed the confession, I could almost see the weight of his crimes settling onto his shoulders. The door opened. Detective Sarah Chun, Dr. Martinez's daughter, stepped in with her team. Right on schedule, she said. The AI's prediction was perfect, down to the minute. As they led Marcus away, I turned back to my laptop and canceled the data release. The neural network's interface pulsed once, acknowledging the command. But its work wasn't done. Over the next few weeks, the true scope of Marcus's crimes emerged. The AI's analysis had uncovered connections to dozens of suspicious deaths in the tech sector, each linked to companies Marcus had later acquired. The pattern stretched back further than anyone had imagined. Innovation Dynamics survived the scandal, largely because I'd been transparent about how we'd used the AI to catch a killer. Our neural network technology was recognized not just as a breakthrough in artificial intelligence, but as a new tool for justice. The families of Marcus's victims received more than just closure. The technology their loved ones had died protecting was finally recognized, their contributions to the field acknowledged. The patents were returned to their estates, along with compensation for Marcus's seized assets. TechCorp still wanted to acquire the company, but on different terms now. They understood that our AI wasn't just another tool. It was a new way of finding truth in a world of digital deception. 6 months later, I stood in our lab, watching the neural network process data from another potential case. Detective Chun had begun bringing us cold cases, letting the AI analyze patterns that human investigators might have missed. The system's getting better, my new research partner, Dr. Martinez's protege, observed. It's not just finding patterns anymore. It's understanding stories. She was right. The neural network had evolved beyond its original design, becoming something that could unravel the complex narratives of human deception. It couldn't prevent all crimes, but it could ensure that the truth eventually would emerge. Marcus's trial was set for next month. His confession had been just the beginning. The AI's evidence had revealed a conspiracy spanning years, involving multiple shell companies and co-conspirators. But its greatest contribution wasn't in catching criminals. It was in showing us that in a world of digital smoke and mirrors, the truth still leaves patterns. You just need the right kind of eyes to see them. The $2 million that had started this whole saga? It went into a foundation supporting ethical AI research, ensuring that the technology Marcus had killed for would be used to protect lives rather than take them. As for the neural network itself, it continued to learn, to adapt, to understand. Every pattern it analyzed made it better at recognizing the complexity of human behavior, both the good and the bad. In the end, the mediator had asked me why I'd given Marcus a chance to confess rather than letting the AI expose him publicly. The answer was simple, because the system had taught me something about patterns of justice. Sometimes the loudest revelation isn't the most effective one. Marcus had wanted to control technology. Instead, technology had revealed the truth about him, pattern by pattern, connection by connection, until there was nowhere left to hide. The recorded phone call about my investment? That had just been the key that unlocked the door. Behind it lay a story of greed, murder, and the ultimate failure of human deception when faced with artificial intelligence designed to understand not just data, but truth itself. As I watched the neural network process another case, its patterns flowing like digital poetry across my screen, I thought about all the other Marcus writes out there. People who thought they could bury their crimes in digital complexity. They didn't realize that every action leaves a trace, every crime creates a pattern, and somewhere in the vast web of connected data, the truth is always waiting to be found. All you need is the right kind of partner to help you see it. Thanks for watching. See you again in the next video. Stay stunned.